Welcome to The Drums of Silence, an abused wife's cry, an emotional and powerful animated story that takes you on a journey through the life of Maya, a woman who endures and overcomes unimaginable hardship and abuse. This video highlights the importance of speaking out against domestic violence and showcases the strength and resilience found in community and support. Disclaimer: this video contains scenes of domestic violence which may be disturbing to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised. Domestic violence is a serious issue that affects millions of people every year. It can happen to anyone, regardless of age, race, gender, or socioeconomic status. Domestic violence is not just physical abuse. It can also be emotional, verbal, or financial abuse. It can have a devastating impact on victims, their families, and their communities. We need to raise awareness of domestic violence and work to end it. We need to provide support to victims of domestic violence and help them to rebuild their lives. We need to change the way we think about domestic violence and challenge the stereotypes that surround it. We need to hold perpetrators of domestic violence accountable and ensure that they are punished for their crimes. We need to create a world where domestic violence is no longer tolerated. We can all make a difference. Let's stand together to end domestic violence. In a quaint little village nestled between rolling hills, the morning sun rose gently over the horizon. Birds chirped melodiously, and the villagers began their daily routines with smiles and laughter. But behind one door, there was a silence that spoke louder than words. Maya, an African woman in her early 30s, lived in this quiet house. With her dark curly hair cascading down her back and her warm brown eyes that once sparkled with hope, she was a picture of grace and strength. But lately, her eyes often reflect fear and sadness. Maya's parents, Chinedu and Adaeze, were once the richest traders in the village, their wealth and generosity known to all. Tragically, they were involved in a fatal accident that took their lives, leaving Maya orphaned at a young age. Maya was the only one who survived the accident, and she was found standing in the middle of the road when the driver of an oncoming vehicle took her to the nearest police station. The police later arrived at the scene of the accident, and upon investigation, they were able to locate Maya's uncle, Emeka. Uncle Emeka arranged all the funeral ceremonies and after which took complete possession of Maya's father's properties. The police gave him full custody of Maya, and he promised to take great care of her as the only surviving daughter of his late brother. However, a few months later, he, his wife, and their children started maltreating Maya, treating her more like a maid than a family member. While her uncle's children lounged around lazily, Maya worked tirelessly, attending to their every need. Despite the harsh treatment, Maya endured, dreaming of a brighter future. Uncle Emeka mismanaged Maya's father's once lucrative business, eventually selling all the properties. Though he took Maya into his home, her life was filled with hard work and no affection. When she met Aidan, he seemed like a beacon of hope. His initial kindness and promise of a loving home were a welcome escape from her uncle's house. She hoped that her marriage would bring her the happiness and stability she longed for. However, over the years, the harsh realities of her new life unfolded, dimming her once bright eyes. Maya's husband, Aidan, was an African man of few words, tall and broad-shouldered. With a stern face that rarely smiled, he was once a loving husband. Aidan was the most successful farmer in the village, known for his bountiful harvests. He had been very kind to Maya, largely because her father, Chinedu, had lent him money several times during bad harvest seasons. Marrying Maya was Aidan's way of appreciating her late father's kindness, a story he often recounted to her. In the early years of their marriage, Maya and Aidan were the picture of bliss. They were often seen in public holding hands, wearing matching clothes that highlighted their unity and love. Their matching outfits, vibrant and beautifully crafted, made them the envy of young people in the village. Some young villagers would even whisper that Maya and Aidan's marriage was made in heaven. Their smiles were genuine, their laughter infectious, and their love seemed unbreakable. They attended village festivals together, danced under the moonlight, and shared dreams of a prosperous future. They were the golden couple, admired by all. However, in recent years, Aidan's harvests had turned poor. Season after season, the crops failed, leaving him frustrated and desperate. The once plentiful fields were now barren, and the burden of maintaining his lifestyle without any financial help grew heavier. With Chinedu, Maya's father, now deceased, Aidan had no one to lend him money during these tough times. His frustration grew with each passing season. The financial strain and the pressure to maintain their lifestyle began to weigh heavily on him. Aidan's initial kindness towards Maya faded, replaced by anger and resentment. He began taking out his frustrations on her, verbally and physically abusing her at the slightest provocation. The home that was once filled with love and laughter now echoed with harsh words and cries of pain. The village, unaware of the turmoil behind closed doors, still saw them as the perfect couple. Maya, who had once been the embodiment of joy, now moved with a heaviness, her eyes losing their spark. The decline of Aidan's farm mirrored the decline in their relationship. The fields, once lush with crops, were now dry and lifeless. Each failed harvest deepened Aidan's sense of failure, and without the financial support that Chinedu used to provide, the situation seemed hopeless. Aidan's resentment grew not just towards the failing land, but towards the very life he had built with Maya. In the beginning, it was just a harsh word here and there. Aidan's frustrations with his failing harvests began to seep into their once happy home. He would snap at Maya over trivial matters, his voice rising in anger. Maya, trying to keep the peace, would often stay silent, hoping it was just a passing phase. But soon, the harsh words turned into shouts. Aidan's temper flared more frequently, and the shouts became daily occurrences. He would yell at Maya for not cooking the food to his liking, or for not cleaning the house well enough. His words cut deep, filled with resentment and bitterness. Maya, who had once been full of life and joy, began to wither under the constant verbal assaults. Then, the shouts turned into violence. The first time Aidan struck Maya, she was in shock. It was a slap across her face that left her reeling. She didn't understand how the man she loved could turn into someone who could hurt her so easily. But that slap was only the beginning. Aidan's frustrations with his failing harvests turned into relentless anger towards Maya. The first miscarriage happened one night after Aidan came home drunk and angry. He accused Maya of being the reason for his failures. When she tried to defend herself, he shoved her hard against the wall of their small hut. The impact was brutal, and as she crumpled to the ground, she felt a sharp pain in her abdomen. The agony was unbearable, and as she lay there, she felt the life within her slipping away. The loss of their first child was a blow that Maya never fully recovered from, and Aidan's remorse was short-lived. The second miscarriage occurred during another violent outburst. Aidan had been in a foul mood all day, and when Maya accidentally broke a plate while serving dinner, he flew into a rage. He punched her in the stomach, and the force of the blow caused her to collapse. The pain was excruciating, and as she lay on the floor, she felt the familiar, heartbreaking sensation of another life slipping away. The dream of having a family was shattered once more, leaving Maya more broken and isolated. The third miscarriage was the most brutal. Aidan, frustrated by yet another failed harvest, came home to find Maya crying silently in their bedroom. Her tears, a constant reminder of his failures, enraged him. He grabbed her by the hair and dragged her through the hut. kicking her repeatedly in the stomach. The violence was relentless, and by the time Aidan stopped, Maya was left in a crumpled heap on the floor. The loss of their third child was a devastating blow, and the weight of their shattered dreams was almost too much for her to bear. Maya's silence became the drumbeat of her pain, echoing through the walls of their home. She endured endless nights of crying alone, her tears and bruises hidden from the world. The village, unaware of the extent of her suffering, went about its daily life, while Maya's world crumbled behind closed doors. Each act of violence, each lost child, each insult chipped away at her spirit, leaving her a shadow of the woman she once was. Despite the turmoil at home, Maya tried to maintain a semblance of normalcy. The village festival was a burst of color and joy, with music, dancing, and laughter filling the air. It was a time when the whole village came together to celebrate and forget their worries. For Maya, it was a brief escape from her painful reality. She wore a beautiful traditional dress, her face adorned with a fleeting smile. As she mingled with the villagers, her eyes momentarily sparkled with the joy she once knew. But even amidst the vibrant celebration, there was a sadness that lingered, a reminder of the chaos she would return to. One day, at the village festival, Maya met a kind woman named Ifeoma. Ifeoma, an African woman in her late 30s, noticed the sadness in Maya's eyes, despite the joyous surroundings. With empathy and understanding, she reached out to Maya, offering a comforting presence. They began to talk, and Maya found in Ifeoma a friend who listened without judgment. For the first time in a long while, Maya felt a glimmer of hope and the warmth of genuine friendship. With Ifeoma's support, Maya began to find strength she didn't know she had. She realized that silence was not her only option. There were resources and people willing to help her find a way out of her abusive situation. Ifeoma introduced Maya to various support groups and resources, explaining that she wasn't alone and that there was a community ready to stand by her. Maya finally decided to take action. She gathered the courage to seek help and spoke to the village elders and the local women's support group. With their assistance, she planned her escape from the cycle of abuse. The support she received gave her the strength to believe in a future free from fear and pain. One early morning, with the village still asleep, Maya quietly left her home. She felt a mix of fear and relief as she walked towards a new beginning, carrying only a small bag but a heart full of hope. The road ahead was uncertain, but for the first time in years, Maya felt the possibility of a brighter future. Maya found refuge in a nearby town where she began to rebuild her life. She joined a support group, found a job, and started to heal from her past. Her strength and resilience inspired others who had faced similar struggles. Each day brought new challenges, but also new victories, as Maya discovered the power of hope and community. With time, Maya became an advocate for other women who were suffering in silence. She shared her story and encouraged them to seek help and reclaim their lives. Her voice, once silenced, now resonated with power and hope. Maya's journey from a victim to a leader inspired many, and she became a beacon of strength and resilience for women in her community. Back in the village, Aidan's life took a turn for the worse. His continued frustration and loss led him to heavy drinking. The once successful farmer became a shadow of his former self, a laughingstock among the villagers. His fields lay barren and his spirit broken. Maya heard about Aidan's situation, and despite everything, she decided to help him. With Ifeoma's support, she brought Aidan to the city. It was a difficult decision, but Maya knew that everyone deserved a chance to heal and change. Aidan was admitted into a rehabilitation center where he received treatment for alcohol addiction and anger management. It was a long and challenging process, but with the support of the center's staff and Maya's unwavering belief in his ability to change, Aidan began to recover. Aidan apologized to Maya and Ifeoma, seeking their forgiveness for the pain he had caused. With tears in his eyes, he promised to be a better man and husband. It was a heartfelt moment that marked the beginning of a new chapter for them. After completing his rehabilitation, Aidan returned to the city with Maya. They worked on rebuilding their marriage, learning to communicate and support each other. Their love, once marred by pain, blossomed anew. Maya and Aidan's love story took a beautiful turn as they welcomed two children into their lives, a girl and a boy. Their home was filled with laughter and joy, and Ifeoma remained a close family friend, sharing in their happiness. Maya's journey from silence to strength and Aidan's path to redemption remind us all that no one should suffer alone. By breaking the silence and seeking help, we can find the strength to overcome even the darkest of times. Their story is a beacon of hope for all those who are still in the shadows, showing that healing and happiness are possible. Maya's decision to take Aidan back was driven by love and the belief in his ability to change. However, it is important to recognize the dangers of domestic violence and the impact it has on individuals and families. Maya's story is not just one of survival, but a call to action for all of us. To all those experiencing domestic violence, know that you are not alone. Seek help and support from friends, family, and community resources. Your safety and well-being are paramount. And to all perpetrators of domestic violence, particularly men, we appeal to you to refrain from such ugly and barbaric acts. Understand the pain and suffering you inflict, and make the conscious choice to change. Embrace love, respect, and kindness in your relationships. Together, we can create a world where every home is a safe haven and every relationship is built on mutual respect and love. If you found this story inspiring, please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more compelling and uplifting stories. Click on the bell icon to receive notifications whenever we post a new video. Thank you for watching The Drums of Silence, An Abused Wife's Cry. We hope this story has touched your heart and raised awareness about the issue of domestic violence. If you or someone you know is experiencing abuse, please seek help and support. Remember, you are not alone. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more impactful stories. Together, we can make a difference.